Oh, it's you! Hey, welcome to the H1Z1 animation department. My name is Brad Constantine, and I'm an animator here on H1Z1. And today, we're going to do something completely different. Normally, I'd sit here and work away and let you look over my shoulder and, kind of point and laugh and all of that. But today, we're going to do something completely different. Today, I'm going to let you pick what animation we do. So, but before we get started, I'm going to show you a couple of the creatures that are coming to H1Z1 very soon, stuff that we've been working very hard on. So let's get started. First, I wanted to show you the rabbit that we've got coming. In H1Z1, we're trying to create a full ecosystem for the world. So besides fighting zombies and running around collecting stuff, you're also going to have a wide variety of wildlife to deal with. And we're going to try and do wildlife from small creatures all the way up to large carnivorous creatures. So here's one of our smaller creatures. This is our rabbit. And you can see that I've got him hopping here. And you can see by looking at the mesh that he is made up of a bunch of points and quads. It also has an inner structure, which is a skeleton that we put in all of our characters. And basically the way the animation works in Maya is we get these rigs set up, we get a mesh, we put the skeleton inside, and by selecting a joint on the skeleton, you can see how we can articulate, let's see here, you can see how we can articulate a shoulder or a foot, that sort of thing. So we've got a mesh, we've got a skeleton, and we also set up little controls here that we can use to move the feet around. All right. Now the way the animation works in H1Z1, we're using a program called Maya, Maya 3D. It's a standard program for a lot of game development. It's a great tool to work with. There's a lot of possibilities for animation in here. You can animate in layers, which is really nice, which means that you can put a basic action on one layer, and then you can go back and add more subtle things on top of it using other layers here. All right. And this is our rabbit. Let's load up another creature to take a look at. Some of you may have already seen our bear that's coming. We're really excited about this. Up until now, the wolves have been kind of the high end of the food chain in H1Z1, but coming very soon, these bears will be out there, and they'll be coming for you. Right. Let's see, a bear walking. And here's a mesh view of him. Let's see what his mesh looks like. Cool. And inside him, we have our skeleton. All right. That's our bear. Okay. Let's load up another guy here and show you. Also coming soon to H1Z1, chickens. Yay! Something to shoot at with an arrow. And I'll show you his mesh. And inside of him, we've got a neat little skeleton too. I'll show you how he works. Chickens are coming. Many of you have asked about fish, so we've got some fish coming too. Let's take a look at them. In this case, it's going to be a rainbow trout. I'll show you his aisle here. So the idea is in H1Z1 we're going to have fish in the ponds, and you should be able to catch the fish and harvest their resources and all of that. I believe we're going to have spear fishing. I'm not sure if we're going to have traditional fishing as well. You can see our fish. And let's see if I can show you this mesh that's on there. And you can see this is a pretty basic mesh. And inside we've got skeleton. Let's see how that works. Fish, and we've also got some flying creatures coming. The first one we've got coming down the pipe will be the Raven, and the Raven will serve a dual role where you will see him in the air and you'll also see him on the ground. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So today, earlier, we got a bunch of questions off of Reddit, animation-related questions, questions relating to H1Z1. I'm going to go ahead and load the bird up here and let him fly around in a circle. While he flies around in a circle, maybe we can answer a couple of these questions. Okay. Little hands here. I don't know if you guys can see that. All right, let's take a look at the list here. We've got a big old list of questions and can't wait to answer. All right, number one. Now, I'm the wildlife guy on this project, but I have a couple of zombie guys sitting near me. Say hi, guys. Hello. Hey, so they're...
Special message there. Audio.
Oh, nice. There you go. Get rid of my gum. All right, number one here. Will zombies ever be able to climb through windows and over small obstacles? Well, the idea is, yes, we really want that to happen. It may not happen for early access, but the idea is that, yeah, we want to make these zombies be able to follow you wherever you go. This ain't your mama's zombie game. All right, will there be an animation for the player character when you are looking through your inventory? At this point, we're going to say yes, that is the plan. The plan is to have some sort of animation while you're looking through your inventory. I imagine that will be a third-person animation. Give you something to do. I don't know. There you go. All right, number three. Will there be any variations of the same animation? In other words, will a deer react the same way every time it is shot? Well, I'm glad to say that what we are planning to do and what we are doing for our zombies and our creatures is we are going to have directional hit reactions and we have intensity-based hit reactions. So at this point in H1Z1, we're setting up our animation systems. We've stubbed in a lot of base animations to kind of get our memory footprint, and now we can start putting in all the juicy good stuff. So we're going to have, you know, you hit a zombie with a right hook, he's going to fly to the left there. You want to punch a bear really hard, bear's going to get knocked back too. So yes, we're going to have all that cool stuff. We want Melee to be as fun as you expect it to be. And for me, nothing more fun than hitting zombies. All right, let's do number 4 here. How long does it take to complete one animation for an animal character? Basically depends on what kind of animal you're doing. So my rule of thumb is the more legs it has, the longer it takes. So let's say if you have a 2-leg creature and animation takes you 2 hours, a 4-leg creature will take you 4 hours. Twice as many legs, twice as long. All right, so you can see our bird flying around. Let's show him what he looks like when he's on the ground. And can we go right to the stream and ask folks what kind of animation we want to do tonight?
We certainly can. Yeah.
We were thinking about doing some kind of cool Easter egg with one of these creatures. So I don't know if we want to get the bear and have him do like a belly flop on the player. We can have a rabbit do a psycho rabbit attack. We can have a deer jump up on its hind legs and slap box you, anything like that. Let's see your ideas, and we'll look through the list and we'll pick the best one and do it.
All right.
Let's get him on the ground here. Okay. This is exciting, huh? You guys get to pick what we do. It's crazy. It's outrageous, is what it is. It's crazy.
A lot of bear dance.
You want a bear dance?
There's a lot of bear dance.
We can do the bear dance.
There's a bear hug.
Bear hug. Dancing bear. Bird swarm.
Remember, we got an hour to animate this. Don't break
Rabbit
me.
attack.
Bear dance sounds kind of fun.
There's a Monty Python style rabbit attack.
We can do the Monty Python rabbit attack too. Yeah, that would be great.
Let's see. Yeah, it seems like bear dance.
Looks like bear dance is going to be the winner. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Okay, before we start on our bear dance here, I want to show you our bird when he's on the ground. You can see he's pretty basic mesh too. Pretty chunky. Right now he has no alpha map on the end of the feathers there. So in the end you will be able to see through these black parts there by the feathers. When you're far away it'll look very nice and bird-like. So here, for example, a bird could be on the ground chewing on a dead guy or something and scare him back, and then he kind of does his little bird hop back up. This would just be one little idle animation of dozens that we do for the bird. Okay. All right, let's load up a bear and make him dance. That sounds like a great idea. Does that work for you, Sean?
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah!
Like an add ooh yeah.
Ooh yeah! All right, we got a bear. And let's load him up. Let's get an idle here. Okay. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all of my controls are visible. The things that I need to select in order to move this guy around. And we're going to check and make sure that all of these things are working. Bear going down. Yeah, he's ready to dance already. Let's go in here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take him to a brand new time range. Okay, we're going to animate this in the way I usually work when I lay down an animation. So the idea behind animating any sort of creature or whatever, you have to start somewhere. All right, so generally what I do is I pull out a piece of paper and I get a pen and I'll do a couple of quick thumbnail drawings based on what I want to do. You know, so I'm feeling it out in the drawing and getting a good idea in my brain before I sit down and start animating. You really want to have a good idea of what you're going to do before you start. Save you a lot of time and trouble. All right, so this, I know that the bear, I want him to dance, and that's going to involve some kind of swaying and dipping and moving. So all of that starts with the base of the body. So we're going to start with the highest joint on the body hierarchy, which is his center in here. So let me show you on the inside, and we'll make his joints visible. All right, there you go. This is called the center of the character, and it's right there in the center. And this is the first thing that we want to set keys for. But actually, the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the feet stay in place for a second. Set a key for these feet. Aye, 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 Mr. Sean. What is up with your... There we go. Okay. All right, so I've set a keyframe for the feet, and this is going to keep the feet on the ground while I'm dipping this guy around. That way his feet don't go down through the ground. Whoa, you can see him jumping out. See, whoa. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create an animation loop, a cycle. We'll do a dance cycle that will repeat itself at the end. So when I start an animation, I usually don't load up all of the frames at one time. I want to work the way I would work if I was doing a 2D animation. So in 2D, what you usually do is you do key drawings, key poses, and then you go back later and you add the in-betweens in between those drawings, and then that gives you your motion. The reason you would do that, it gives you more control over your animation. You know exactly where you're going and where you're coming from. And it also allows you to work more efficiently. So like right now I've got 15 frames loaded up, and that should be enough to get this guy dancing. All right, let's go to the first frame here. I'm actually going to dip him down a little bit.
If you
All
want.
right, yeah, we can
If
put a
you
little
want.
we can put a little twerk in there.
They're calling for it.
All right, great. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to start my bear. I'm going to have him sort of dipping side to side. He's going to be getting the feel of the beat that's going to come here. So let's take a look at him. So I dip him down. And this will start him down in the middle. Okay, so I've set this key on the very first frame and then the last frame, and I've got one in the middle. So let's go back and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do sort of an in-between pose of this guy going up. I'm going to copy this pose over here. So you can see we've already started grooving a little bit. All right, so he's moving up and down. Very nice. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to move one joint up the chain. So this will be my spine 1. This is the next one up. I'm going to put some rotation on it. So I grab my rotate control here. And I'm going to set a key on the first and the end, and one in the middle there. Now you can see when his body's going up and down, I want to have the bone that is behind that sort of lag behind a little bit. So what I'm doing, bend it down like that, and you can see it. And then when it starts to go down, I want to lift it up a little. So we're going up and down. See how that sort of flows through there? We're going to do it one more time on this side, down, and then on the way back down, we're going to change direction so it's up. So the idea is you've got a nice little, so you got the two working together, a little flow there. Nice. Okay, we're going to move on to the next joint. This will be our spine 2. We're going to set a key at the front, at the end, and in the middle. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other spine. You can see we're starting to feel that come up. And the weight's going to kind of catch it. And as we start to go down, it's going to go up a little. Yeah, getting there. Nice. You guys still with me? All right, here we go. We're going to move on to the neck now. And it's literally how you animate. You work your way up the chain using the largest mass controls first, and then work your way down towards the things that are attached to that. So we're on the neck. We're going to do the same thing. Start with a key on the first frame, a key on the last frame, and one in the middle. And we're going to continue that flow of motion that we have going. Pull that down a little bit. You can see it's really coming down fast there. go. Yeah. So we got a happy bear. Okay, let's see it with our fur here. Yeah, he's starting to rock out a little bit. This is nice. So I'm building up our motion. Okay. Back in here and see the joint. All right, let's go to the second joint on the neck. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other ones. I'm going to do a little flow through animation. So when the neck is coming up, it's being pulled by gravity. And when it comes down, it's a very fast change of direction, so it's got to catch up a little bit. And back up. So when we're finished with this, we'll throw it in the game, and what we'll do is we'll make this an Easter egg in the game, and we'll come up with some sort of mechanic. Let's say you gotta, I don't know, you find a Walkman or something and put it on some meat and give it to the bear or something. I don't know, we'll have to figure something out that'll activate this. But when you do, when you find this bear and you activate him and he does his little dance for you, you can say, I was the one who told him to do that. You guys made me do this. All right, so now we get to the head. Now the head's just going to follow everything else. The head's actually already doing a nice little dip itself, so I will set some keys for it. Okay. I'm so glad we're doing something silly, you know. We spend so much time doing serious stuff here that when we get to do silly, you really enjoy it. All right, he's rocking. Okay, so we got some nice body motion, we got some nice head motion. Now, let's throw a little twerk action in there.
All
Are you
right.
ready, Sean?
If they still want it.
All right. You guys ready for some twerk action on the forums there?
Oh,
Nice.
they're ready. And if they're not, we're doing it anyways.
So here I've got my twerk controller here, and I can certainly, oh man, move it around as needed. So let's go ahead and set some keys for this. I'm going to come in here and look so I can actually see what the joints are doing. Okay, so he's kind of bouncing up and down, so let's get that booty bouncing with him. Okay, let's set some keys on here.
Boy, loving them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll do like the double twerk. We'll stick it, oh baby, right? All right, don't call your mom in the room, all right? Don't do that. Say, I'm learning animation. This is very important educational reference here. Twerking bear. All right, so now we've got a whole bunch of rhythm going on in this bear, but it's all sort of sideways. So if you look at him from the front, it's not very interesting. He's kind of rocking a little bit or whatever. I think we could put a little side to side on there and sort of loosen it up. So I'm going to come over to my animation menu here, and I'm actually going to add a layer for my main controller on the body. So I've got a little tab here where I can add a layer of animation, and I can set all new keys. Okay. So I want his down positions to pretty much stay in the center. And what we'll do is we'll have him go down and then up to the right and then down and then up to the left and then down and up to the right. And we'll get a nice side to side going. That's just what I'm going to do. So I'll go ahead and set my keys that are down first. And now we've got him rising up. And let's move him off to the side a little bit. We can move him up on this way. All right, let's throw some fur on this guy here.
This looks
Nice.
good, Brad.
Yeah, it's getting there, huh? Sure beats working for a living. I'll tell you that. Spline wrangling. So now you can see we've got a nice little left and right going on here. Now, if we look at it from the top, you can see that the neck and the head are already turned a little bit from an idle pose that I came out of earlier. So what we'll do is we'll take another layer and use our fun layering tools, and we'll throw another one on top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start this one over here. So copy it, set a key on this side. Put that in there. Okay. And I'm going to do the same for that neck thing, just so we have a little bit straighter neck going from side to side there, and then we can put a little jimmy on it, make it nice. So go ahead and grab this joint. I'm going to add another animation layer.
Can I ask? I think he's gone.
All right.
You have a tongue in there, Brad.
We do have a tongue in there.
A lot of people are calling for the tongue out like Miley Cyrus.
We're getting there. So that's the last of the sticking out stuff. We'll hit the ears and the tongue and the nose and all of that. Yeah, pretty soon here. Okay, so we've got his head coming off to the right here. I'm actually going to whip that head out a little bit to the side. Give it a little pay. Do that over here. Okay, great. So if we throw in our fur here, you can see we've got our jamming bear. Yeah, he's coming along. Now you notice that I'm still using the original 15 frames. So if I was to go ahead and just play this at full speed, 30 frames a second, it's a little crazy fast. So we'll probably end up slowing this down a little bit too. But you can see we're well on our way to getting a cool dancing bear out of this thing. All right. So a lot of you were talking about, okay, let's take a look at the face and let's see what's going on. What can we do with his face? Now I'll probably end up putting the face itself on another layer too, so then I can come back and adjust it later if I want to. The bear here, I'm going to show you some of his cool facial controls. If you look here to the right where my little pointer's going up and down, these are all of the controls that we've set up for the bear's face. So we've got the jaw rotating in different directions. His eyes should work left and right. We've got eyebrows and things like that where you can look up and down or whatever. Kind of create. But let's get a nice, cool dancing face on him. I've got some smilers over here. We can make him smile a little bit. Hey, hey! All right. And curl up that lip a little bit. I've got these sneers. Yeah, he looks kind of happy. All right. It's Happy Twerking Bear. Yeah. Nice. All right, so now we're going to do a little subtlety with the jaw here. So when the head's moving up and down or whatever, we're going to have that jaw sort of do a little secondary motion that sort of rides it along. So as it comes up, pull it down. You can even pull it off to the right a little bit. When it gets up top, just sort of close it down a little bit. Don't mind me laughing at my own. It's just so hey. Damn, damn, damn! All right. You guys didn't hear that, did you? All right. All right, yeah. Dancing bear. I can put a little bit of this lip flappy on there. Some of this.
There's a YouTube. Dan.
Just my dang bear. All right. Okay, so now when we make something like a bear move, not everything moves at the same time, as you notice. The base of the body will move at one rate, and then the head's moving at a different rate or whatever. Then we have little dangly things like the ears and the nose and that sort of thing. So we'll go ahead and put a little bit of motion on these ears. If we come in here and you can see that the ears have a little control on there. Some flappy on there. So we'll start with one ear. I'm actually going to throw that on its own layer too. So you can see I'm already working up. I've got 5, 6 layers over here that I'm using at the same time to work through this animation, and it helps me stay organized. If I want to go back later and work on the ears or something like that, I can just grab that layer that it's on, and I have all that information ready. Okay. So let's look at the motion of the head here. You notice that when the head comes up, that ear is going to be influenced by gravity. So we're going to have gravity sort of pull it down, comes out. And then when it snaps back down, it's going to get a little bit more air there. Nice. We're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to rotate it on the z-axis, which is that axis going forward. Keys at first. And go. Right. So as you can see, working with the layers, you can work really quickly and get a lot of motion down pretty fast. I don't know how long I've been on this one so far, but we're well on our way to a finished animation. All right, so now we've got 15 frames of the sky rocking out. Now, if I play it at 30 frames a second right now, the animation's going really, really fast. I think we could probably need to slow it down by at least half. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and combine all of my layers here. Let the computer do the math. And while that's doing that, we can go to a couple of questions here. All right. Okay. Are you a fan of motion capture for human character animation? And does H1Z1 use motion capture or plan to in the future? Yes, we do. And yes, I do. I believe that when you're making a game and you're doing a game that is semi-realistic, all right, and you've got human characters in it. Everybody knows what a human looks like. Everybody knows how a human moves. Trying to hand key human stuff, you can certainly do it, but it takes a long time to do it well. So we use motion capture whenever we can. Now, what we usually do is we'll do a motion capture shoot, and we get data back, and we have motion on a character. But just as you would figure, it's never facing the right way, it's the wrong size, the timing is wrong or whatever. So there is, by the time we finish, manipulating the motion capture data or whatever, it's pretty much half hand keyed by the end of it. So whatever works to get the best result for the game, that's what we do. So we do hand key, like I hand key the animals. We tried bringing the bear in and putting the markers on him. Yeah, it was really messy. We did the same with the chicken. Once you put all the markers on the chicken, it didn't look like a chicken anymore. It was this white ball of balls. So, we like motion capture. It looks the best, and it's certainly saves you a lot of time over hand cam.
Right.
It's just another tool. And you want that realistic human motion. You really do. All right. So, what was your creative process for creating the zombie animations? Well, I didn't really create the zombie animations, but the process is similar to this. Either we start with some motion capture data, or we start with some video reference, something like that, and then we key out the motions and clean it up and throw it in, and if it looks good, then we leave it in. If it doesn't look good, then we redo it. Okay. Will the current movements of zombies be the same as in the finished game? A lot of people are asking that. They see the game, they see the zombies, they're like, okay, there's one zombie, and he's got t-shirts, and they all run the same, they all walk the same. That's not going to be the case in the end game. So what we have now is we have an animation system in place where we need to create what's called a memory footprint, right? So we need to put stub animations into the game, fill up all the slots, run the game, and make sure the game runs. So now as we go forward, we're going to start replacing our zombie animations that are in there with more specialized zombies. So we're going to have fast zombies, slow zombies, we may even have some crawling zombies, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's all coming, we just gotta do it. And you guys got to remember, this is the earliest we've ever let you guys in here. Normally, we don't even let you guys in here at all. See all this stuff around or whatever? No, normally we have to hide it. Can't let you see anything, no screens, nothing. Not this time. This time, you are the designer with us. So we want your ideas as well as our own. So we're making a game for you. I'm making it for me. I'm making it for you. All right, how many different animations will a moving model have? As many as it takes, okay? So basically we get a list of what animations are needed for the game. For example, running, crouching, proning, drinking from a stream, maybe, things like that. All of those little things need animations. So it could be anything from 30 animations to 100 animations, just depending on what you need to do in the game. And we're doing some Easter eggy stuff too. All right, so let's see. I've got all of my layers combined, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to select all of my controls. So if you see, I've got everything selected. I'm going to come down to my timeline and I'm going to grab everything. I'm going to punch this time scale up a little bit past what I want to do. So we're going to make this a 1 second loop. So I'm going to scale this up exactly twice. I'm going to snap my keys into place. I'm going to set this to 30 frames here. And this is a 1 second dance loop here. Nice. Great. Now, so me as an animator, I'm looking in this and I'm going, okay, great. We've got a good start. We've got a nice little dance going here. But it could use some love. I noticed we got some little hitching on some of the looping on the animation. Some of that lip looks a little wonky. So now you can actually come in and do some fine tuning on your animation. And the way we do this is we use our curve editor. So what I will do is I grab my top joint. I'm always going to start at the top of my hierarchy here, even for adjusting curves. I'm going to bring my curve editor over here, and I'm going to punch up the rotations on just that loop. So my loop starts at frame 700. So if you come over here, here's frame 700. And then here's the last frame over here. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that on the ends of these loops that these things tie up together, so that they're actually on the same level and whatever. You want nice, clean, smooth curves in your data. So we come in here and check the curves. And now you can see that this curve right here has got a flat tangent on it. So what that means is that when this curve hits the beginning of the animation and the end of the animation, it's actually slowing down. And we don't want that to happen. We want it to be a nice, smooth motion into our dance. So I'm actually going to turn this up towards the thing. And you see I've created a line that's going up there. It's almost a straight line towards this curve apex. I'm going to do the same over here so it matches the other side. I'm going to get rid of these. So what I end up with is I end up with two ends that are more or less matched up direction-wise. And if I want to simplify it further, I can actually get rid of some of these keys and keep my curve nice and pretty here. And we do this for most of the keys. You want to come in and make sure that if it's a looping animation that it actually does loop without hitching. And, okay, so here's my up and down. Here's my left and right. That looks good. Left and right looks all good in here. Okay. One joint down. So now we move on to the second joint, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to load up our graph editor. We're going to check our curves. We're going to go to that field range. And here we have another case where the ends are flat, and we don't want them flat. We want them to be continuous. So when that plays, it plays right through the loop. And it's these little adjustments at the end that will, you know, make it not hitchy. Let's see what we got in here. That one's pretty clean on the ends. Looks good. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that. Get a smoother curve. We've got the same deal over here. You guys still with me? We're still with you, Brad. We're there. That's right. All right. I'm not going to do every single joint. Don't worry. We're not going to go through all of them. We're going to just go through the main ones that have all the curves on it. Because we want this to be perfect for you, right? Since it was your idea. Okay, so here we've got a rotate joint here. That one's a little flat. So here's a situation where the end joint is actually flat to the thing. I think I'm actually going to leave it like that. Let's see. That looks all right. Okay, this one will adjust. So I'm matching the angle of my spline curve there. And this one kind of matches it too. You can see where like this. And let's take a look, see if this thing is hitchy. Oh, much better. Much less hitch on those main circle things here. All right, let me see. Do we have a tongue control? Maybe I don't have a tongue. Let's check the tongue. Do we have tongue? I may not have a tongue on this guy. So we may be tongueless here. But all is not lost because we have our cool dance. And might need some music. What do you think?
Yes.
Huh?
Sure.
You need a beat?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely put it in.
All right, let's do it. Let's bring in a beat. So luckily, I have a beat already. Let's import this in. So it wants to know what kind of thing I'm going to import. Let's go to desktop. Do I have it in here? Ah, aha. And here we go. Let's get our bear. We're gonna line them up here. Yeah, all right. So that's just a little taste of the beat. So what we'll do is we'll come in here and we'll select everything, all of these curves, and we're going to go into our graph editor. All right, so here are the curves for everything that is selected in my scene. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell the computer that after it plays one time, I want it to cycle. I want it to keep repeating the same animation. And what we can do is we can add. All right. Well, it didn't cycle the whole thing, did it? Do I need to get rid of the frames before to get it to cycle? Perhaps I missed a step. So what we can do is, I see, I will just get rid of all of these frames before. It may want to repeat what I had before. Let's see if this works. Yeah! All right, so if we turn off all of the controls, yeah, that's pretty cool. Got some booty action going on there. Yay! All right,
Good job.
one
Good
dancing
job.
bear, yeah!
Keep going.
Yeah. We'll leave the bear on and we'll tell you to put it down. All right, so while the bear is rocking out here and we enjoy our little dancing animation, let's hit the rest of these questions because I know you guys want to know the answers. Just a sec. Okay. Will there be an animation in the future of a person opening the door and getting in the off-roader? Oh, I see, the Jeep. Are we going to have animations getting in and out of the Jeep or opening doors? That is the plan, right? So we are planning on doing that. If for some technical reason we can't do it, then we won't do it. But we want to do it, so we probably will. Okay, are there any plans for realistic motion capture animations for both zombie and player models? I think we covered that. Yep. And what animation do you really want to have in H1Z1? Well, besides the dancing bear and the helicopter rabbits and the zombie mime, the big animation I really want is swinging the aluminum Little League bat. My end game for this H1Z1 is I'm going to be the guy running around whacking people with the aluminum bat just to hear that little ting noise. Ting! That's my end game. Thanks for asking, though. Yeah, I appreciate that. Okay. Will zombies have different shuffle movement types so they won't all look the same? I think we covered that too. Yep. We're going to have walkers, joggers, runners, crawlers, creepers. It's all going to be in there. Let's do a quick poll though. Fast or slow zombies? Anybody? I want to hear what your preference is. I like combo. I'm a combo guy. I like the slow ones. You can shoot them easier, but I like the fast ones. You know, that's where you need the bat. Okay, I'm assuming they don't use motion capture on animals. How do you mimic an animal's movement to look natural? A lot of homework. I watch a lot of the Animal Channel. I tape a lot of reference for everything that I do. I make little thumbnail drawings for most of the creature animations that I do. Really break down the motion and try and get it look as real as possible. Okay. Oh, with emergent AI, would zombies favor attacking groups or singular entities? I have no idea. That is way outside of the scope of my knowledge of this game. Since we have crouched and prone positions, will zombies have similar capabilities? Well, I do know that we are going to have some kind of crawling zombie. So that may answer your question. Or it may not. Okay, do you have plans to animate zombies grabbing onto vehicles? Yes, we have a plan to do that. Whether it is technically... You guys totally missed the asteroid. That was the craziest thing I've... Oh my god, here, pick everything up. Jeez Louise, is everybody okay? Oh man. Sorry about that. Just space. Alright, back to the questions. Oh, we're glad you came back. Sorry about that asteroid thing. Is everybody alright out there?
Go back to the.
Oh, do we plan to have animated zombies grabbing onto vehicles? Did we answer that? We plan on doing that. We plan on having all kinds of cool vehicle zombie related animations. Knockbacks, flybacks, rollovers, all that fun stuff. Are you developing all the animations from scratch or using a base from other SOE titles? We are using a base animation system from other SOE titles. So the idea is that we are creating a universal engine and animation system that we can use for all of our projects moving forward. So that way we can pull from a library of resources if we need to, and everybody's on the same page. Everyone's using the same programs, all that. All good, all happiness. Okay, will there be AI fish? Yes, there will. Will you be able to catch them? Yes, you will. Are you working on planning to add birds anytime soon? That's been answered. And birds that you can hunt. Yes, you will be able to hunt the birds. You'll be able to shoot them out of the sky and, I don't know, make bird pies out of them or whatever. How did I first get into 3D animation? That's a good question. I first got into 3D animation around the same year that Doom came out. I don't know how old any of you guys are, but it must have been around 93, 94. Up until then, I was a 2D animator pretty much, and then the whole industry changed in one summer. So after that summer, I came back, and everything went from 2D to 3D. So I did too. And since then, I haven't had any trouble finding any work. So that's my advice. For future animators out there, I'd like to do a quick book recommendation before I get to run out of here. Grab that tag there. Like any good zombie apocalypse, you have your survival kit, right? You have your survival stuff. Animators are the same. I have my animator survival kit. This is a book by Richard Williams. He's the guy who supervised the animation on Roger Rabbit. And if you want to learn how to animate, this is a great place to start. It's got all kinds of great diagrams, things you can trace off. Another great book that I recommend. You can find this at like most Aaron Brothers or art stores. It's not expensive. It's called Cartoon Animation by Preston Blair. He was an animator at Disney. He was an animator at MGM. And he put all of his secrets into this book. And it teaches you how to do everything from draw hands to break characters down into simple shapes and lots of animations that you can trace off and flip and see how it's done. So I recommend those two books to get started. I also recommend, if you are considering getting a job in animation, that you learn to draw and learn to draw well. The reason being is that you have to use a lot of visualization skills when you animate. You have to see it in your mind and you have to sort of break it down so you know what you're going to do before you do it. It's just the best way to go. Here at the studio, they offer us classes in all sorts of different things. We have life drawing here. We have classes in comparative animal anatomy. So we've been taking classes here where you can actually learn the difference between, you know, an arm of a dog and a horse and a cow, stuff like that. We get that into learning what we do, how muscles work, how anatomy works, animals, the way things bend and rotate. We take lots of notes on that, and how things are constructed or whatever. So, you know, the more you study that kind of thing, the better off you're going to be as an animator. Thank you for coming and enjoying our little video presentation. I had a great time doing a bear dance for you. I hope you guys get to see it in game and that you get to take partial credit for it. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you in the next animation stream. Bye! Bye!
Yes.
See you! Bye!